I'm Duncan Riak, and this is How to Be Loved by a Woman. So it's really important. It's very important to be able to, actually let me get my notes, to be able to, it's very important, see I have to look at my own notes to know what it's very important to do. Okay, it's important to be okay with things being left unresolved, okay? The more that you can allow things to be unclear, the more amazingness you're going to have in your life. Because life is a big grey area. The whole of life is a grey area. If you want things black and white, if you want things known to be a certain way or not a certain way, you're going to settle for having a really shitty life. And it's like, oh yeah, my life's shitty, and it's good because I know it's shitty and I know everything's shit. Because you can have certainty really easily, but you can have really shitty certainty. And being okay, wait a second. What's that noise? Okay. Being okay with being frustrated. Okay, so frustration is this feeling of like, I want things to be different. I want things to be different, right? And like what you're doing when you're feeling frustrated, what's happening is you're resisting the way things are and you're wanting things to be different. And it's like, that's awesome. And in that feeling, in that experience is all of the opportunity to deepen and get to know yourself and heal and resolve all of the incomplete past in you. So it's a great opportunity, and the more you can live with it and with the sensations in your body and be with frustration, the more you can actually harness the energy which is under the frustration to actually get what you want. If you push away frustration, if you say, oh, I don't want to be frustrated, and you cover it over, or you do the easiest thing to get rid of the frustration, what you're essentially doing is you're just settling for certainty of a shitty life, right? You're saying, oh yeah, I don't want to be frustrated. I don't want to like dream big and then be frustrated. I'll just settle for a shitty life and just be like, well, at least I'm not frustrated. So frustration is awesome. I mean, it's just sensations in your body. Let them be there, enjoy them, be with them, welcome them, be equanimous with them. Let them be what they are. Let them change, let them shift, let them be whatever they are. Let your reality be what your reality is right now, and your life is going to unfold and become more and more and more rich. I get people who like are envious of me. So many people. I sound like Donald Trump. Everybody wants to be like me, you know. I get people calling me all the day saying, all day long saying, you know, you're right. We were wrong, you're right. They call me all day saying, well, we want to be like you. You know, we wish we could be like you. Because you're a winner and we're losers. So yeah, I mean, people act as if they're envious of me. And it's like, and it's such a shame because you don't need to be. Well, you can be envious and you can experience the envy, and then you can be with that and allow that, the energy that's within that and underneath that and being trapped by that blockage, you can allow the energy to flow and you can allow your life to blossom instead of spending your time feeling that you're a hard done by victim, okay? So not being in control is another one. There's a sense of, oh, I need to always be in control. I can't allow myself to be in a situation where I'm not in control. Actually, this is reminding me, I'm going to do a video about how to be dominant. And to be dominant, you have to be really good at being submissive. You have to understand what it means to be submissive. And so to be really in control, you have to be really good at not being in control. Okay? The more comfortable you are with not being in control, in fact, the more in control you are. And the reason is that you're not reacting all the time. You're like allowing yourself to be in the at the mercy of other people, right? Just this, you know, allowing yourself to find out what that's like. You know, I've been a homeowner much of my life. I've been a tenant for some of my life, and it's like, I'm an awesome tenant because I love my landlords. I don't have an issue with people kind of lording it over me because I don't see it like that. I see it as we're doing a business thing, you know? And it's like, and I respect them, you know, and I respect the position. If they own the property that I live in, that's fine, right? And it's like, I've had my own businesses, you know, a lot of my life, and I've been an employee for some of my life. And it's like, That's fine too. You know, like, I don't mind having a boss. I've never had an issue with a boss. I've never had a significant issue with a boss. I've never had like battles with my bosses or anything. I've always gone really well with my bosses. And it's because I'm fine with them being in a position of power over me. And generally they let me be autonomous. They trust me because I trust them, and they trust me because I'm trustworthy and because I love doing what I do. And I don't have a weird thing where like, oh, I don't want you to be my boss. It's like, fuck, I don't give a shit. Why would I give a shit? You know, so learn to be okay with not being in control. Learn to be okay with non-clarity. Someone's being vague. You can ask for clarification. If you can't get clarification, you don't know. You have unclarity. You know, you can make things clear by taking drastic actions, right? Or you can just let things be unclear if they're unclear, and be like, that's interesting, things are unclear right now. I don't fully understand where you're coming from, or I don't fully understand the situation. And I'm sure things will clarify in time, or they won't, right? I'm sure they will or they won't. And so yeah, be with uncertainty, not knowing what's going to happen next. And sometimes, you know, life is one massive uncertainty. We don't know what's going to happen next. We could get sick and die. We could be involved in a crash or something and die. We could millions of things. Anything could happen tomorrow. And like, life is uncertainty. And so it's really important to get in alignment with that and accept the fact that life's really uncertain, and be comfortable with uncertainty and with ambiguity. You know, like not having to have everything labeled and clearly defined all the time in every relationship, like not having to have clarity, allowing ambiguity in relationships. Like, you know, can you have people who, there's a spectrum of friendship, for example. Can you have people who are different types of friends, or different closeness of friends, or you know, can your intimate relationship, can the intimacy change? Can it be ambiguous? It's like, I'm not really sure exactly where we stand, but that's okay, right? Can you have business relationships with customers and suppliers, which are somewhat ambiguous, you know? Even if you do have a contract, but like how things are doing, it's ambiguous maybe, and you're being with the ambiguity, and there's a lot of information in the ambiguity. In fact, you know, in something where there's a 1 and a 0, there's basically 2 bits. I mean, there's 1 bit, right, with two states, and it's not very much information. Whereas if you can have something contain essentially an infinite number of levels between 1 and 0, you have, depending on how keen your attention is and how precise your awareness is, you essentially have approaching an infinite amount of information carried in that one parameter, okay? Depending on how quantized that parameter is by your own awareness, that's how, depending on how unquantized it is, how continuous it can be, that's how much information is conveyed in that one single parameter. So I'm advocating for awareness, self-awareness, for being with ambiguity, for grey areas. And for some people that's really challenging, but I challenge you to work on that, to grow in that area, to grow in those areas. And this is going to be awesome for your relationships, for your intimate relationship, for attracting and retaining the best woman you could possibly have, and for growing with her and deepening with her. Till next time, I'm Duncan Riek.